New Jersey Devils are proud to select from the U.S. program, Jack Hughes.
What's going on, everyone? Oh, it's a great podcast day with your boy Bobby D, Tyler Hickey,
Yep.
Kyle Hiscock across from me. What a day for the Devils franchise. What a weekend for the Devils franchise and, respectively, the Sabres, Colorado fan bases as well here at the Sticks and Beers podcast. Boys, say what's up to everyone.
What's going on, everyone?
Hello.
Very nice, Tyler. Tyler's going to be leading most of this podcast today. Myself had some responsibles over the past weekend. I had my updates going on my phone, and I shattered my phone, so I had to get a new phone.
That's I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
You went too hard at the concert or at golf?
No, I literally got excited at the concert, went to pick it up to take a video of my boys and catfish in the Bottleman, and then I dropped my phone face flat down on the cobblestone roads at Canalside next to the First Niagara Center, or whatever the new HSBC arena is called now. KeyBank Center?
KeyBank, yep.
Did it used to be the First Niagara Center?
Yep. First Niagara, HSBC. Yep. What was the first one? Marine and Midland?
Marine Midland.
Midland.
Yep. The Odd.
Well, the Odd was the old building, but this is all just the new building.
I saw one game at the Odd. It was the Sabres versus the Ottawa Senators when Alexei Yashin used to play for them. What a blast from the past that was.
Oh, yeah. He's, and then they traded him for Jason Spezza, Chara, and, yeah.
Yeah, but so a lot went down this weekend. Tyler was our draftologist. If you guys looked at sticksandbeers.com, Tyler put out his blog post for his draft predictions. I think he said he got 4 or 5 right, which is still pretty good if you look at batting average and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I had the defenseman kind of going a little later in the draft, even with Byram, and then obviously Mosey Sadar, I think the German kid at Detroit, he definitely went higher than expected. So that kind of just threw off all my other things, and then Cole Caulfield dropping to number 15 was a shock. So
we will get into all of that, but as always, the beer comes first on the pod. It was Tyler's turn for the beer.
This is literally all my pod today. I got the beer. I don't have the trivia, but
We're
I got all the knowledge.
We're just here for the ride along, bud. That's
Yeah.
all.
So
support.
We went to One Stop Brew Shop again because they're the best. Starting off, the new Genesee Lemon Strawberry Cream Ale.
Yeah, I'm so excited to try this. I saw it on social media.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to try it.
It's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. Next, we're gonna go with Barrier Brewing, Kickin' Knowledge. It's passion fruit Indian Pale Ale. Milkshake too. Yeah, it's got a little bit of
lactose
everything.
in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't look that lactosey though. That's a word.
A little funky. I mean, we can't match the hemp tails that Greg put last time. That funkiness.
Yeah, that was a legendary performance in the last pod by Greg.
There was.
I was talking to James at One Stop about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to try it, but I don't know what it is." I'm like,
"It's really pretty good, man.
You just have to get it in. It's good, and it's just not what you expect at all."
Did you tell him it tasted more like a cider?
Yeah. I was telling him it was like it's sweet and easy going down, not dry at all. Like I think we all thought it would be. Next, we're gonna go with Slope, right? Sloop Brewing. The Juice Bomb IPA.
It's a good one.
Sounds delicious already.
Yeah. And then last, probably not least, where's this one from?
It's Collective Arts, I think.
Yep, Collective Arts, Hazy State Double Dry Hop IPA.
Very nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Before we cheers, Tyler, what else you got going on over there? Show the people on the camera.
Well, I did a little merchandising for the boys, and too bad our boy Greg's not here to get his gift. But yeah, I got some hats. Started off very small and got some cheaply made ones off online. I think we're just a giveaway.
Perfect.
Maybe even sell. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of got drunk and did that off a whim. And then, I went to, spend some money and got a nice embroidered one for the boys. So we each got one. And, maybe if people want to buy some, we can do some more. So
Yeah,
I got
some one-offs.
Yeah, I got the graphic. So we just go to embroidery shop and get some.
Yep.
So let us know. But yeah, I think they turned out fantastic.
They definitely look awesome. Thank you very much, Tyler. And
You're
thank
welcome.
you very much for the beer. Let's cheers to the
Jenny.
The Jenny lemon strawberry cream ale, right?
Yep. Support local, boys.
We always do a good job of that in the pod.
That's weird.
I like it.
I need a few minutes to take this one in here. So
Yeah.
before I get my my vote.
I can't put my
I really like it.
All right. I think we should start off or mellowing on that.
What?
I don't know.
Marinating.
Mellowing.
I didn't hear the first half of that sentence. But
Today.
so we're just for the folks listening that are now equally as confused as Kyle and I, we're gonna go through the draft as much as possible. Tyler's gonna take that over, but we're not gonna go through each pick. We're just gonna hit the highlights of it. There was no major trades on the first day of the draft. I think the only trade was between Arizona and Philadelphia, basically just swapping firsts.
Yeah.
And the Flyers giving them a second rounder.
No,
Arizona gave us
Arizona
yeah.
moved
Arizona
up.
moved up for
Got a second round.
Yep.
for the 14th and the 45th, right?
Yes, something like that.
And then we will get into the fireworks that us Devils fans got to experience on Saturday, which, if you guys listen to the last podcast, I didn't get it exactly right, but I did say that the Devils were going to be trading for PK Subban, and it happened. As you guys know here, we are insiders with 7 R's. We did get the Ryan Callahan buyout wrong, though, which stinks with his degenerative back disease, and he has to retire early due to injury, which is never fun for anyone in the NHL, especially when they're a local hero and idol to most of us hockey players here in Rochester.
Oh, for sure.
But Tyler, what are your overall thoughts on the draft? Winners, losers? We'll start off that way, and then we'll get into the highlights of the picks.
Okay. Well, I mean, the first two kind of basically went how everyone kind of expected. I mean, Jack Hughes just having the more potential, and even though Kakko's more NHL ready and a bigger guy, but centers are a premium in this league. So, yeah, I mean, nobody was really surprised. I mean, Hughes is already going to Yankees games with Adam Sandler, and
he was the wire-to-wire leader.
Yes, yeah, he was been talking about for a while. And then, I mean, Rangers. I mean, they got Kakko. I mean, I think he's gonna be a stud. I mean, I think he's gonna do better probably the first 1 or probably 2 years than Hughes, I would assume, depending on how they go and how he's in the lineup. But he was dominating at the World Championships against men, and I mean, the Finnish are just pumping out prospects and studs now. So I think that was good for them.
I'm really curious as to how John Hines now throws Hughes into the mix, because when we had Nico number 1 overall, it was 3 games basically just hiding him on the third line, and then you're just gonna play with Taylor Hall the rest of the year, and he put up 52 or 55 points his rookie year, and I have no idea what they're going to do with Hughes. I think I could easily just seeing him just completely beat out Nico, because he's just way more of a dynamic player, and Nico and Jesper Bratt already have really good chem.
Yeah, but Nico and Hall already have chem too. So
yes, absolutely true. So I think it makes more sense to put Nico with Taylor Hall and then Kyle Palmieri with Jack Hughes, because Hughes is going to need someone to clear space for him.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So he can grow into his body a little more, put on a little more muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely. I mean, he's shifty, but
he's undersized.
That's why I want the Devils to really sign. That's why I really want the Devils to sign someone like Michael Furland or Richard Panik to just open up space for Jack.
Yeah, Yeah, and I mean those are solid players, anyways. They can
Exactly.
plot some goals too. So, I think you already heard. Everybody's pretty much heard about the top 2 picks.
Yeah.
Going third, a little bit. I mean, he was kind of like a late bloomer, Kirby Doc.
He's a big boy though.
Yeah, he's big. He's compared to Getzlaf. So going in the Western Conference, that's gonna be huge for them. And I mean, he's gonna take a year or two to get into the Blackhawks lineup, but him, Taze, and Strome, that's a good 3-punch right there. They can really, what's the word? Rejuvenate. Yeah, their lineup. Get some young talent in there.
They're already saying he's like Captain Serious 2.0. Because
Yeah.
he's got like no personality and he says nothing in his interviews, so he's basically
that was Turcotte too, the local kid, which I thought they were going to pick, and he's a good 2-way guy, and he was always a big fan of Taze.
local. Oh, from
Turcotte.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I thought the draft was in Vancouver. I was like, he's American.
No. Yeah. So after that, at the Avalanche with the Ottawa Senators pick, they got Byram, their defenseman.
Thoughts, Kyle?
I love it.
As you should.
The kid's going to be a stud. I mean, he might not be. He's not NHL ready. I don't think he'll play probably for. Definitely not this year. I don't see him.
Pierre McGuire was very adamant that he was going to play this year.
I guess a lot of that will be based on whether Timmins can be inserted into the lineup this year. If he's over his concussion issues, I don't think there's any reason to rush him into the lineup this year. And I still don't think there is, even if he isn't. I could see him being more of like a guy they signed down the stretch again, kind of like they did with Makar.
I think if Timmins is ready to go, just is Bowen. He's a juniors player, right?
Yeah.
Just send him back. Let him marinate.
Mm-hmm.
Let him be like Ty Smith from last year.
Yeah.
What it tells me with them getting him is that we were messaging back and forth in the group thread over the weekend that Tyson Berry's days in Colorado are probably numbered.
But also, as we were talking previous to this podcast offline, Kyle was saying how Tyson Berry's basically could be the Colorado's own version of their own rental, like Artemi Panarin and Bobrovsky for the Blue Jackets last season.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then 1 year going back to juniors for Bowen Byram, then your right side shot defensemen are Byram, Makar, and Timmins. That's not bad.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I like it going like on the Bears situation. I'm just curious. This is like the second time, like he was clashing with Wah before, and now it seems like he's clashing with Sakic. And I don't know. It seems like on this contract that he just signed a few years ago, like he seemed like he thought he got screwed a little bit on some money. I mean, he's an excellent player, but is he like a great number one? Does he deserve like that $7 million?
I think so.
I don't think he's a. I don't know. I mean, I guess you look at it, he's definitely a number one puck moving defenseman and offensive defenseman. I can't say.
I mean, like if you're looking at it, like the rumors are like Tyler Myers is going to get $8 million,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one tweet where it's like, these are all the defensemen that make $8 million or more in the league, and then it was two-time Norris.
Yeah.
And then if Tyler Meyer gets paid that GM who whoever signs Tyler Myers if and when that happens to $8 million plus needs to be fired.
Yeah.
Especially with the other tweet that came out this weekend from Alan Walsh, who's like one of the presidents of
he's an
agent, but he also like runs the company too, I think.
Yeah.
Where he's saying like multiple GMs and presidents have told me that like the salary cap is ruining hockey. Well, it's because you're signing players like Tyler Myers to $8 million plus contracts.
Yeah, I mean it's the salary cap. It is what it is. In terms like guys who like if you look at the people who signed for that $5.5 million range, like Jones, Ristolainen, Barry, all these guys that like signed it like a few years ago. Like those are looking like steal contracts now, and like now going into their second contract. I mean, they're gonna want money. They deserve it. I mean, obviously Myers isn't worth the $8 million, but and Barry, I mean, he'll probably get $7 on the open market, I would assume.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Before we get back into the draft, I saw a thing on Cap Friendly, an armchair GM. Someone would you guys do this as a trade? Seth Jones, Josh Anderson, and a pick for Mitch Marner?
No.
I wouldn't.
That's a lot of. So what?
I mean-
What pick? First round?
I don't remember. Well, they don't. I don't think they have a first round.
No, they will.
They- for next year?
Unless Matthew Shane signs.
Okay.
So if he signs, then they have to give it to Ottawa.
That's a lot of assets for. I mean, Marner's. Don't get me wrong. Marner's Marner, but
Well, I mean,
So you guys wouldn't do it on Columbus's end?
I wouldn't.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Jones is a stud back
yeah.
there. I mean, Renski's good. They got, Murray, who's always injured, and Savard. But, I mean, Jones leads that defense core. And
I would pull the trigger in a heartbeat.
on
I-
Columbus's end, you're
Yes.
saying?
Wow.
I think Mitch Marner's a top 7 player in the league.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think they have
Jones is a top 5 defenseman.
Yeah.
Top 7 defenseman.
Yeah, but top 7 defenseman or top 7 player.
Well, I mean, you can't really compare.
Yeah, that's
It's
a tough one to
apples to
compare.
oranges almost.
Well, if you guys are listening at home, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And also it was just like the cap thing because they'll,
Mhm.
like you said, Seth Jones is at like 5 point something. Josh Anderson for one more year is at 1.8.
Yeah, he's going to get payday. But, I mean, both of those combined are still not really going to make Marner's 10. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto aspect, yeah, all day. I'll take that.
What do you think about beer number 1, boys?
Love it.
I'm going to go no.
I would be a no too.
Again,
Again, on our rating scale, whether I would get it at a bar, it would be a no.
I hope they have it at the bars downtown because
yeah,
I
they
will
will.
be ordering it. I really liked it.
I can't really put my hand on this aftertaste a little bit.
Well, it's the aftertaste from the cream ale.
Yeah, but it's got a little something into it. It's like, I don't know.
I guess I really like strawberries. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I mean, it's a solid beer, but I wouldn't buy it at a bar. I would go for the Jenny Cole show all day.
Kyle from the other room. He had to step away real quick. He's always be selling as a realtor.
Yeah.
Said him too, but I just love strawberry flavored stuff. But what's beer number 2? And then we're not gonna, as we wait for Kyle, we're not gonna drink it. What's beer number 2? And then your next pick to talk about.
Beer number 2 is the Barrier Kickin' Knowledge, the milkshake IPA passion fruit.
I'm excited about this one. I
Yeah.
like passion fruit flavored things.
It should be good. I mean, we've had some Barrier stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be good. Going down the line, I think LA getting Turcotte at 5 was a steal. He's gonna fit in nicely there.
Do you think he's gonna play right away next year? He's
I
committed,
don't think
right?
so. I think he's committed to Wisconsin.
I know Cole Caulfield is.
Yeah, I think they both are.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that's a dynamic punch right there.
I think it would. It's one of those things. He fell into their laps. I think it would be stupid for them to play him because they're going to be brutal again. I think.
Yeah, and they still have Kopitar and Carter, and they don't really have the depth in the wings to really support him either.
Right.
Give him some talent. Yeah, I think 1 or 2 years because they need to pretty much still rehaul that whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see them being a.
Quick should be gone. I think they trade him and go with because what's his name, Campbell and who was the Sabres guy that walked? Oh crap,
Cal
Peterson. Yeah, I mean those two look good in goal, so I think Jonathan Quick could be on the block for them.
Who's going to pick up that contract though? Who's going to try and trade $10 million for a broken down?
It's a 10.
Isn't it 8 to 10?
Travis boys?
5.8.
What? Why did I think he was getting paid like
No,
one of the most expensive?
no, he signed a 5.8 by 10-year deal, and I don't know. I think it was right after they won their first cup.
I think I read it backwards.
Yeah, probably.
That makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah. So he's not a good term or a good AAV, but not bad term. So
All right.
Second beer? We can try it?
Yeah, second beer. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Air cheers.
I'm not reaching that for
Air
this time.
cheers. Good smell to it.
it's like
There's a little bit of a sour action in there.
Yeah,
It's the passion fruit.
I like that.
I like that too.
I
I'm
like that
gonna
a
go
lot.
hard. Yes, right
Yep.
above.
That'd be a yes.
All right,
One sip.
that was easy.
1 for 2, Tyler. Not bad.
Next, Red Wings with the Moats Sadar.
I think his
Get
name
a
is
more
Moritz.
Maurice.
Is it Maurice? Mortiz. I would
Mortiz?
pronounce it.
Yeah, some German guy. If you guys were watching the draft, he was more surprised than anyone else that was getting picked.
But he is a stud muffin. Holy moly. Look at
Yeah.
that bow tie he had.
And bow tie, he had the flow going.
He has nice hair.
Yeah. He's a big right-handed defenseman.
I gotta look this guy
Playing in the German.
He's more of like a shutdown.
Yeah, but
sort of,
I
right?
think it's like they were talking like when he got more comfortable last year while playing, and he got more ice time. His offensive game started to pick up some.
So it could be like a Drew Doughty, Seth Jones type, where it's
Yeah.
like he's
Good
great,
two-way.
great overall defenseman,
Yeah.
but can contribute on the.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like that high off offensive upside, but definitely can put in 30, maybe 40 points once he develops.
Okay.
That was a surprise for everybody.
I'm gonna say Detroit's drafted like a shit ton of defense over the last couple drafts, haven't they? Have they not?
Yeah, well, no. Last year they got Sedina
Yeah.
and the other guy that fell to him, the center. I forget his name.
Is it like Joey something?
Yeah, Valeno.
Yeah.
Joe Valeno. So I mean, they don't have a lot of good defensive prospects though. So
What do you compare this guy's game to? Do you know, Tyler?
well, kind of like how Bob was saying, just like Drew Doughty and Seth Jones, but not that high of offensive upside.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe kind of like a Ristol. No, not Ristolainen. Ristol's just so.
What about like an early Tyler Myers?
Nah, but he's more. I think he'd be more physical.
It's hysterical to me. Like we've had our Risto talks over the last like month.
Years.
All the Sabres fans hate him, and now they wish they had Tyler Myers back instead of Risto. But if you rewind like 5 years ago,
Risto was
everybody
sick.
hated Tyler Myers and was glad he was out of there, and they all wanted Ristolainen. And now it's like, holy shit.
Sabres fans are just bitter about everything because we suck for so long.
Well, I'm super excited for the Sabres fans. We'll get into it because the next pick was
good segue.
thank you, Dylan Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw on Twitter, Coach Ralph Kruger's reaction, and this dude, even just through the internet, his energy and his excitement for hockey and the team and to coach the Buffalo Sabres is just palpable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just saying this kid is the perfect player. I'm granted he'll probably say that for whoever they draft.
Yeah.
But I think Dylan Cousins fell to you guys because he was projected the entire time to go top 5.
Yep.
I thought Colorado was in the running for him.
And he's not. I would say he's above average size because I think he's like 6'3", like 185.
Yeah.
Which
So,
by the time
he's
he's like
skinny.
27, he's
Yeah.
gonna be like
220-ish, maybe.
205,
Yeah.
lean hard. So, but he could be like a Jack Eichel 2.0.
Mm-hmm. I think
mini like a Jack Eichel light. Because
Yeah.
I think he's got more wheels, but his offensive upside isn't as high as Jack Eichel.
Well, yeah, watching some of his clips, he's like Jack Eichels got that long stride,
Mhm.
but he looks effortless. Where this guy, his legs are turning, and more like a McDavid, and so I think it makes him seem a little bit faster. But going down the middle with him, Middlestat, if he can just keep growing, and Eichel, I mean that's a good throughway punch. And like between, I see like Cousins, he was kind of like a safer pick. I was rooting for the Caulfield, and
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
the
ask
high
you
end
about that.
potential, but Cousins was like.
He's the best player available at that time. You have to take him.
Yeah, well, I think he was. I don't think highest potential though. So I think he was a safer pick because I think Caulfield at his 30, 40 goal potential is better than his 70-point potential. Let's just say.
You got to remember, like, Botterill came from Pittsburgh, and you build successful teams up the middle.
Yeah, like I'm not upset about the pick. I like him, and he's everything that really Middlestat's not. I mean, his skill, he still has a good amount of skill, but he's big, he's fast, he can play wing too. So just between those two guys as our second or third, however it kind of fills out, like that's good. And obviously Eichel's leading the charge, but I feel like we needed like a wing or two. I don't know.
I in my opinion, I think you shift one of them being either Cousins or Middlestat to the wing, and then get just a solid third line center that just is like a two-way center. Don't have to worry about offense. Like a Travis Zajac type. Doesn't cost you that much money and is great in defensive zone on face-offs, things like that. Lets
it's
those
definitely a
guys.
possibility. And like Cousins, he was very like he was high on himself and saying he was going to play in the NHL this year, and
I think he can.
I think he can, and I think he's definitely going to give it a shot. So
You get 9 games.
yeah, prove it. I mean, unless even if Sabres acquire like another center, there's a good shot. I mean, stick him on the wing or something, see what happens. So
I'm excited for Sabres fans, and I'm excited to see you guys have your home opener against the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, it is.
is it really?
I believe so. October 5th, Saturday.
Maybe we
Wish I
should
could go.
make a little podcast visit to the game.
I would love to,
Wow.
but it's the home opener. It's probably going to be A, like ridiculously expensive for the Buffalo market, or B, sold out.
Just step up. I can get it.
That's true. I'm down.
We'll figure it out.
I'll get a DH Jack Hughes jerseys just for the boys. Or I'll get a Buffalo Sabres jersey if Victor Olofsson is going to be sticking with 41 and have it Stu Barnes Jr.
Wow.
Stu Barnes. I love it.
Who do we got next?
Next to Edmonton, Philip Broberg.
What a name.
Yeah.
He's got to wear 69.
Nice. But yeah, this is like, I think just because Detroit started really this trend of defensemen that were projected to go later in the draft, and I mean, he's got a lot of upside, but like scouts say he's got a lot of like red flags too. Yep.
On that point, I heard a theory. It starts with Yzerman, and the whole time when he was with Tampa, possibly had been scouting this German kid as like a later round prospect. Not later round, later pick in the first round that Tampa was going to try and go after. But then Stevie Y just knew how sick he is, that when he took the new job with Detroit, it was like, we can't pass up on this kid.
Yeah.
So let's just shake things up, take him now, and we'll go on our way.
Yeah, like when he basically stepped aside in his advisor role last year, he was
Just all scouting and stuff.
Yeah, he was out there and being like an actual scout and stuff. So
Which has to be nice.
yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but
that's fine.
went hand in hand.
I feel like Edmonton needed. I mean, they do need defense, but I think their need at wings is a little bit more. So I mean, it was either or, and they went with the defensive side. So see how that turns out. But they're kind of. I mean, their future's up in the air. I would say they need some moves.
I still think they're going to miss the playoffs again.
Based on everything, every other team, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Moving on, the Ducks, Trevor Zegras, I think he dropped a lot for them, which is really good. You know, he was a third-line center for the new National Development Program, but
He'd be a first liner literally on like almost any other team.
I forget where he's going to college, but he's going to be a top liner there. Like really skilled and just a good player maker, and he's got some wheels too. So definitely what Anaheim needs, that fast, skilled guy. After getting Getzlofs and Kessler's still there.
Boston University.
Boston, no, of course he is.
Go figure.
The Canucks go with the Russian Potskulzen.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah,
He's sick, but we'll see what goes on. I mean, there's always a Russian factor. I don't care what anybody says, but especially if they don't like the place they're gonna go to, like Vancouver.
Vancouver's the most beautiful place on earth.
Yeah, but I mean, Russians are known to like the sunny weather.
It's sunny there a lot.
It's
in the Pacific Northwest. The weather's different over there versus the Northeast.
Sure is.
It's all about the ocean currents.
Just saying, if he doesn't like it there, always a Russian factor. And he could stay in the KHL forever. I do like the pick. He is a stud. He's going to be a great player if he comes over.
I think he's
in 2 years.
That's what I heard. Is 2 years he's got.
Yeah, he's got on his KHL deal. Yeah. I hope he does, because it's just good for the NHL. But I don't know. We'll see.
If he comes over this summer, kills it in development camp, and then he gets in and
I don't even think he goes to development camp.
He probably goes to.
Is he allowed to?
Yeah.
Do you think his KHL contract allows him?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those European things are weird. I don't know if he does.
I don't think it's in season. I know last summer, like there was all the Russian dudes for the Devils development camp were there. Training camp is different.
Right. Yeah.
Because the KHL season does start
that's what I'm
earlier.
thinking.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like if he kills in development camp and gets an invite to training camp with the prospect of potentially making the team, how can you say no to a team with Pedersen and Besser and now JT Miller? That was a nice ad. We'll get into it in about 10 minutes.
Hovart's there too.
Horvat, yep. And I don't know. I think Vancouver's on the rise. And if he wasn't Russian, that dude would have been a top 5 player.
Yeah.
It's complete bias towards the.
Well, and I think if he could have came over too immediately,
I don't think it's just even the Russian. It's the fact he has 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
If he was playing in, like Svechnikov was, if he was playing in the OHL, yes, he's going top 2.
I mean, how many guys though in the first
Top 5.
round outside of the top 5 picks? They take 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. It's just there's that Russian factor because you don't know. Because
And then
players do. Like Tarasenko and Kuznetsov, they came over after 4 years there, tore it up.
Right.
Here. Right. But they could stay over there. And I'm trying to think of a guy who stayed over there after being drafted in the first round, but no one's really coming to mind.
Who was the guy from Vegas last year?
Nikita
Svechnikov?
No,
it wasn't
it was
Svechnikov.
Shipachyov.
Shipachyov.
Yeah, but he wasn't drafted by them. He was a free agent.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's another one.
They have an RFA that they brought over right before the playoffs. Like
Gusev or something.
Nikita Gusev.
Yes. That's right.
So we'll see. But I mean, in the second round, the Kuliev, who played for.
He's American though.
What?
He's born in Staten Island. He's definitely had to spend some time in Russia with his accent.
So it's like a Galchenyuk.
Yes,
because that was
with Russian accent, definitely. Because if you heard him, you would think he was from Russia with his accent.
Okay. Give me 5 more, and then we're gonna move into some post-draft trades, and then we're gonna get into sobriety check. Kyle, still on the roll, baby.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
No softballs this time.
Oh,
no
come
softballs.
On.
I give you softball.
Did we get Greg's questions?
Nope.
Oh, that's
I'll text him.
Get some questions from that kid.
So Spencer Knight, top-ranked goalie, going to Florida. Saw that kind of coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
nah, it's all right. I was hoping he went to Colorado.
Yeah, I was
thinking,
with that 16 pick, I had him going there. But I mean, Florida needs a goalie in the future,
agreed.
and they reached on him. Peyton Krebs, who tore his Achilles, top 10 talent, he falls to Vegas at 17. That was a good pickup.
It's a bargain.
We already mentioned Caulfield at 15 to Montreal. He's, other than scoring, he doesn't bring a lot to the table. So I mean, he's gonna have to be put with a playmaker because he's not really fast. He's not super dynamic or great defensively or anything. He's just got a nasty shot.
Just buries the puck.
Yeah.
If Jonathan Drouin can actually get his fucking game together, he could be that guy. But they were ripping him apart on XM radio this morning.
All right,
Drouin.
Yeah, they had I came on a minute too late to hear who the guy was, but he was clearly a Montreal Quebec person.
Yeah,
He started like Marty Baron on the radio. Just like some nights, Jonathan Drouin just feels like leaving his talent back at home. I think that was a direct quote.
Is that right for the guy from Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
You sound like you got a peanut butter stuck on the roof of your mouth.
Oh, you guys. Let's go a little at 16. Avs like New Hook. It's gonna take a couple years, but he could be a nice number 2 center.
Yep.
Let's see how he develops. The Sabres 31st pick, Ryan Johnson. Supposedly he's called the one-man breakout. That's how good he was. And I forgot where he was playing I forget if it was USHL or something, but guys who fell out of the first round, the author, the Russian guy, Babo, help me out here, Kletsyov, the Russian guy, that's from New York that we were just talking about.
Like Kuliev or something like that?
Yeah, Kyliev.
It's something like that.
Yeah, that fell to LA.
I wanted the Devils to get him at 34.
Yeah. I mean, he was probably the second goal scorer or natural goal scorer in the draft.
Didn't he have 102 points last year in the O?
Yeah, he had 51-51.
Yeah. How does that type of talent fall out of the first round?
He's like a bad attitude and doesn't compete all the time. That was the scouting report on him. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can get him, I mean, that's a steal at, getting them early second round with L.A. So, see how he develops. And he's a big body, too. So
LA had 2 first good picks.
Yeah.
Those picks are good.
They had a good draft. Well, no, they had a second first rounder, too. They had a defenseman from Toronto. Another guy who fell out, was it Bobby Brink?
Mm-hmm.
I forget where he went. But he fell down, and he was another good goal scorer. He's grinder kind of guy in your face, but he's smaller. I mean, yeah. I think that sums up the first round.
Yeah.
All the important stuff, at least.
Yeah, and a
'Cause,
little bit of the second.
Anything after 15, 16 is, you're getting a crapshoot, and see how they develop, and they need at least 2 years.
Right. Yep. And then all the fireworks came about over the weekend, where the Devils traded Steven Santini, Jeremy Davies, and their two of their 3 second-round picks, but they also got a couple more picks back later because Ray was just wheeling.
No, they one of the second-round picks was 20 next
Correct.
year.
So it was one this year, one next year.
Yeah.
But then they traded another one of those seconds for 2 more picks later in the round. We started the weekend with 10 picks and ended up with 11, even though we gave up a pick this year and next year for All-Star, former Norris Trophy defenseman winner, PK Subban. What are your guys' thoughts of that deal?
Steal.
It's grand.
I don't know. Davies, was he like a highly ranked prospect?
He's like a B+.
Was he a defenseman?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a puck-moving left-handed shot defenseman.
It's kind of weird because Nashville's stocked with defensive prospects too, and I mean Santini was a good 5'6" guy, depth
He'll
guy.
be like a 7 dude. Where I mean, he's like the Alex Moran of that team. If anyone understands the reference, Alex Moran is from Blue Mountain State, the hit show from Spike TV.
Oh yeah, the backup QB.
Right.
No,
Being a 7 or an 8 defenseman in Nashville's system is amazing. You just marinate with your $1 million contract because he got a new contract last year, 3 years, 1.3, I believe. You know, he's going to be in Nashville, no state income tax. Yeah. It's going to be great. He's barely going to play. He's going to be sick.
Yeah.
Just get drunk and head on bachelor parties.
He's married.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Still never know.
Hey.
Going out with the boys tonight, honey.
Beer 2, recapping. Absolutely.
Yes.
I would be a yes on that.
For sure.
Yeah, I
We
think we
all
all
said
had that.
Yep.
And let's move on to beer 3, boys. A little
Juice
juice bomb
bomb.
from Sloop. Cheers.
I like the previous one before, but still a good IPA.
Yeah.
Would order. Would order.
Yeah, I'm a marinate on this for a little bit. Going back to the Subban trade, I mean, cap space is an asset, and
When you use it the right way.
yes,
It's funny, you read reports saying that there was 3 or 4 teams that were in on it, but New Jersey was the only ones that was willing to take on the whole salary, which
is nice. I mean, it's good for them because they didn't really give up a whole lot.
Right.
So we'll see how Poyle uses that contract. But I mean, you go from Shea Weber to Subban to Santini, a prospect, and a couple picks.
Right.
do they have any big signings coming up? Is that why they made they had to
Yossi.
make
Yossi's extension comes in next season.
Yep, and he's probably gonna get 9. I would maybe. I mean, they could probably convince him to go 8.
I
But he's a
think
stud.
he's a future Norris winner. He deserves 8.
Yeah,
Plus.
he's gonna be the guy, the Norris guy. That's he's been good for so long.
That he find like a Mark Giordano.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, he's not top 5 defenseman, but he's so good, and he's probably one of the most underrated players in the NHL.
When he's on his night though, he's a top 5 defenseman.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just ebbs and flows.
What do you think? What do you think coming from a Devils fan's perspective? Because do you see the Devils being competitive this year?
Yes.
You do.
Not for like a cup, but I think
Playoffs? You think are a shot?
yeah. If everyone can stay healthy and Schneider can get back to what he was doing, he proved in the World Championships that when he's healthy, he's a good goalie. It's as simple as that. His hip was fucked all last season, and Keith Kincaid was a Band-Aid, not the blockade like his Twitter handle says. So if we could just get good goaltending and Taylor Hall could stay healthy, knock on wood, pray to Allah, we'll be good. I'm not messing any juju up for this year, Tyler. No bad juju.
I mean, Mackenzie Blackwood, he showed some good times.
Yep.
They got good young players, and I mean, Hughes is see how he does. I mean,
Let's just say it takes
40
him
points.
2 years though to be competitive again. Just for
That's
just
fine,
for
because
conversation's sake.
PK has 3 years left on his contract,
Right.
including this season. So
So you got to sign Taylor Hall though. You have to convince him to stay.
right. But
So-
we got.
So you think that was a partial move to get
Hell yeah,
PK
they're boys.
to kind of show Taylor Hall like, hey buddy, look we're gonna bring guys in here to help you out win.
Yeah,
So I think there was more levels, more facets to that trade than just
100%.
PK Subban.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
and just based on a marketing perspective, like,
No,
he
huge
is
for that.
fantastic.
He's
huge,
great.
huge
Yeah.
personality.
Yep.
Hughes is going to be a big personality for them.
he's
He's going to be great. Nico is, he's a quiet guy. He seems like, and he's just like the rather.
He's a Patrice Bergeron type.
Yeah, the Sidney Crosby just goes out there, plays, and
Mhm.
says all the right things. But that's good for their market. It's good for the fan base. Try to get build that that competitive nature around them again.
When today they announced that Jack Hughes is going to be wearing 86, there was a little behind the video footage of Corey Schneider talking with Jack, and he goes, "Oh, 86, huh? That was my birth year." And Jack Hughes goes, "Yeah, I know. I did it for you, huh?" The kid's such a beauty.
He's not scared of the spotlight at all.
No, and they were on the World Championship team together. Corey was saying, like, "Oh, you just missed me in the gym. I know you would have loved to see that." And Jack just starts chirping him for just being like The Rock.
Yeah,
Obviously, Corey Schneider's not The Rock, so.
that's funny.
But I'm just excited to see Hughes. I just want to. If you can put on like 5 pounds this summer, great.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up to 175 so you don't die.
Something
Standards.
Like Ovi doesn't take his head off.
I do have a question for you though, and I always forget what this means. When you have upcoming RFAs, and the club has tendered qualifying offers to players,
Mm-hmm.
can you explain to me and the listeners what that means? Because the Devils tweeted their little presser about.
Who was qualified or not?
Yes.
So basically, to retain their rights, they have to be offered a qualifier, it is basically a 1-year contract.
Can you still negotiate a new contract though?
Oh yeah. So it's not like a official contract. It's like they've kind of hard to it's there if they want to sign it. So like if it's like a person who's not very good,
Like Stefan Nason, who we didn't tender a qualifying offer to.
yeah, but so if they're not tendered a qualifying offer, they become a UFA.
Okay.
So they can sign with anyone July 1st.
And if they give him a tender offer, they get
They
another
retain-
year.
No. So they retain their rights so that there's still an RFA.
So it's like a
And they
fake
can-
contract just to maintain their rights
Yes.
throughout that season.
Well, not even that, but they can still sign another. So it's not, they don't sign the contract per se. It's there to keep them on the team and be like a lowball offer because it's only 5% of what their salary was last year.
5% increase, right?
Yes, 5% increase.
So is it like a franchise tag in football then, kind of like where it buys you basically an extra year?
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
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 Almost like a
if they
bridge,
wanna see
almost
it.
like a bridge deal type
Yeah,
of thing.
but they can still sign a, so all these RFAs, they're all going to get qualified so they can retain their rights.
yeah,
But coming off their entry level, they're not going to step like a 1-year, $1 million contract.
Right.
So, but they can still negotiate a long-term deal.
gotcha.
So it's just basically there to keep them in this under the umbrella.
Gotcha.
Keeps them in the
Okay.
system.
I always just know from Chell. I always
So it's
I always
basically-
qualify all
yeah.
my guys.
Basically,
yeah.
just to say, we want you.
Yes, basically. I mean, like Ryan Hartman, who was just traded to Dallas, he was not qualified today because
So they traded him for nothing?
kind of, but they can still negotiate with him as a UFA. Pittsburgh
Oh.
did this with Justin Schultz a few years ago when they first acquired him
Mhm.
because their original salary with that increase of the qualifying offer would have been too much for them to like. So they can say, okay, we're not going to qualify you, you become UFA, but we're going to sign you for less money.
Gotcha.
It's very confusing.
Well,
I mean, I don't even understand it all.
well, you did a pretty good job of educating Kyle and I on that.
I try my best here on the 60 Beers podcast.
Could be wrong, but you sold me on it. So
Yeah.
No,
It
I'm
makes
not.
sense now.
I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
wrong.
no,
On
absolutely.
that, I
Busting
know
your balls.
that.
So let's get into the other big deal of the weekend, which was the JT Miller from Tampa to Vancouver
Another
deal.
overpayment.
Well,
Yeah, what
get
the
into
hell
it.
are they doing?
I
Fucking Tampa Bay just keeps robbing people. Other teams make them good.
well, like JT Miller, he's a solid guy. He's a versatile forward.
Yeah.
He's a good top six. He can, play wing, center, both wings, probably defensive if he really wanted to. And he's gonna give you 50-something points.
What's the condition? Do you know the conditions on the first round?
It's lottery protected.
Yeah, or no, just top 10. I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
top
all.
10, top 10.
No matter how they finish?
It
They
gets,
said
it
lottery
gets pushed to
protected
the
on the
next
radio
year,
this morning.
and then it'd be unprotected.
It's a first round pick for
Yeah.
JT Miller. In essence, and he threw in a 71st, which is
Okay.
still an early third.
Did they get a prospect too out of that?
Merrick Mazanik.
Oh,
kid,
the
which-
goalie. He's just an
Yeah.
AHL guy.
He was a throw-in guy, I think.
He
played-
wears number 2 though.
Yeah.
Very weird for a goalie.
Yeah. He'll never see time in the come on. They got
Yeah.
fucking Vass.
Yeah.
They're good on goalies for a few years.
Well, so is Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, theoretically.
Badger Demko.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Does Vancouver really? Are they thinking that they're going to be competing, making a trade like this?
They were up until some injuries occurred last year.
Yeah. I think they'll be in the mix. I don't think they're gonna make it though. I mean, they're still in a search of defensemen. Getting Edler signed was very big for them. He's a very underrated guy,
Oh yeah,
especially fantasy wise.
and he's a vet. You need that type of guy in the
Yeah.
locker room, man. That's for all the young guys they got on the team for sure. Yeah, I was a little surprised by that deal.
I mean, especially seeing Tampa is so cap strapped. I mean,
Well,
you
they
could underball them a little bit.
They just helped. They just let Tampa off the hook, basically.
Yeah.
Not completely from their cap situation because they still have cap issues moving forward. But they've helped them out by making that deal with them.
Yeah.
Is what you've done, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to see these teams just get it stuck to them. You know what? You want to make all these stupid contracts?
Well, they're not in the
Stick
same
it right to
conference,
them.
so they don't really.
I don't think
care.
they have stupid contracts though in Tampa.
No.
They're in cap hell because they have so many good players.
Yeah, and like they send all these players, this $5 million range deal, which is not bad. It's just you can't have 5 of those and then have like a few guys that are.
But then they're so
the
good
9.
that guys that are making 5 or close to 5, like Braden Coburn on his previous contract was up in that area. But they're so good that when he's a UFA, he resigns with them for $1.8 million. So it's like that's when you breed success and you're in a nice location in a tax-friendly state. Players just want to play there.
Yeah.
But I totally saw JT Miller getting moved. I think I did 3 or 4 things on Cap Friendly of him moving mainly to New Jersey because I think it would be a perfect asset on our second or third line. That type of creating space type player for Jack Hughes.
He's 26. He's got a good cap number for the next 3-4 years.
It's smart to bring in a player like that, but it was an overpayment. I agree.
I mean, sometimes you gotta do that. And I mean, Tampa's. I mean, how many deals do they make where they just? It seems like they always win deals, and
So now-
that's. I mean, that's just how they're built.
Tampa isn't off the hook for Callahan's because when you have players on LTIR, that just means that you can go exactly above the cap with their cap hit, correct?
Yeah, depending on when they put them on the summer. This is how I understood it. Is so when what their number is when they put them on the LTIR, that becomes their new or that
Their
plus
salary ceiling.
that plus that number would become the ceiling. So if they do it at 78, they're going to be losing $5 million, which is they're probably at now or close. So they want to spend as much to the cap. This is just during the summertime too, not during the season, but they want to spend as much to the cap as possible before they put them on that long-term injury reserve. So then they maximize the dollars that they can save.
Gotcha. But it still handicaps you.
Yes, because I mean, if it's in season, then you get the full.
That's a nice pun.
Yes, don't make fun of our local guy like that.
I'm not.
Handicapped.
Oh, that wasn't. I know I wasn't because of the cap situation. You're
Okay.
That was the
okay.
pun.
I got you.
Tyler.
I got where you're
Thank
going.
you, Kyle.
Yeah,
I thought you were taking.
I was not.
No,
I was-
you don't
no, I
never.
would
You never kick
I
a
would-
dog when it's down.
I would never
right?
chirp Brian Callahan for having a bad back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I mean, they'll still probably try to move the contract because Vegas is in the same situation with David Clarkson, and so we'll see. It's very. You need a cap genius to really understand it all, and
Vegas is fucked. Let's talk about them real quick.
Holy
and
shit!
then
Two
we
big
will-
signings, I think, since the last one. Well, a couple. There was.
Let's talk about the signings, and then we'll talk about how fucked they are with salary cap.
There's the Vegas re-signed William Karlsson to I don't have it out in front of me.
5.9 by 8.
By 8.
Yeah,
Steal.
Yep.
it is, but I was surprised they actually put it together. Actually, I was a little worried about them being able to keep him in Sin City. The other big deal was San Jose locking up EK,
The other Carlson.
the other Carlson. That was what 8 by
11.5.
11.
Whew.
Money.
Holy shit! We talked about that in the last pod. Actually, circling back to that, boys. I said there's no way he turns down the money. There was no
Hell
way.
no.
Money in term.
There was no freaking way.
With his injury history, yeah, you have to take it.
Talk about being
'Cause you don't
cap strapped, though. They're going to be in big time trouble. There's no way they can sign Pavelski now. I just don't see it happening. Which I'm
have to
okay
make
with.
some
'Cause
moves,
I
but
could see
they
him
already
going
did.
to Colorado. Come on, Jopa.
All right.
Come on, Jopa.
Well, I would love to see someone offer. Timo Meyer's going to be a hard guy to keep if someone offer sheets him.
They said they were. I read something today, so they were going to have to make some moves in order to sign him.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
Kevin LeBanc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, LeBanc might be a little easier. He's gonna get that like $4 million range,
Right.
but Myers gonna be that 6-7.
Yeah, but do you think LeBanc could do better if he got top 6 minutes consistently?
Well, each year he's played, he's increased his production.
Nobody's consistently been on their third line.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, yeah, he could. I mean, you could offer him for a second round pick almost. If you keep him under like 4.1, I think is the max.
I would do that deal in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
100%.
like this. Like it's hard to, like the teams are more likely to retain their big guys and let the little guys go. So,
How about $26 million though, locked up between 3 defensemen on your team?
well, the other 3 are only making like 5 or 4.
Well, yeah, then that's because that's why they traded Braun, which I don't think we actually had covered that the last time
That's
because
fine.
that was after. But he went to Philly.
Uh-huh.
But no, still, I know that I realize the other 3 defensemen only make maybe $4 million combined, $5 million combined. It's not a lot, but $26 million for 3 defensemen is just good God.
Yeah. I mean, they're good defensemen, so they're gonna win now. So they have to
I'm
try
saying
to
they-
retain everything.
Vegas is going to have to give up some players, though.
Well, they're already
Along-
over the cap.
They're at $89 million. I
Mm.
looked at them because now that Carlson's contract has officially kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think on the Vegas roster right now is going to get moved? Obviously, they're going to try and move David Clarkson's contract with a. I don't know.
Something.
They got to throw add in something and a player maybe.
Yeah. I mean, guys who like Colin Miller, who fell out of favor, right shot defenseman. He's at like 3, a little over 3. Same with like Eric Halla and Cody Eakin. They're in that 3 range. I mean, Riley Smith maybe. I don't think they would do Marchessault. Talk is. I mean, he's on a great deal for a really long time too. So, and he's young.
It makes more sense to keep him over Riley Smith, who's 28.
And he's at $5 million. Their defense isn't really paid a whole lot, so I mean I don't see them really moving anybody. They got Ryan Reeves at like 2.75. He's a possibility, but I know he's a big locker room guy there. So
Well, Paulie Stasny. Looking at the
they just re-signed. They just signed him though.
yeah, 6.5, 2 years.
I think you keep him.
Well, I know, but I think you want to keep him. But if you're cap strapped, I mean,
Yeah.
their projected cap is 89 million right now.
So I mean they got to shed $8 million. So that's a few of those players right there.
If I'm New Jersey, I offer them just like a second, just like a pick, and be like, give us Colin Miller. We'll take David Clarkson's contract, and then figure the rest out.
Yeah. It's, I mean, right there, that pretty much clears all that space for him.
Subban's an RFA too, so they're gonna have to give him. So that's not even counting his whatever he's making right now.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna make.
No, it is- no,
$1.5
I know.
million and
But still, it's another
Yeah.
million and a half more.
Yep.
I'm assuming they're gonna keep him. He's 25.
yeah, I don't really
Is
have
their
any.
backup Tendy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in
It's-
trouble. They're in big trouble. I'm gonna be interested. When do they have to be? When do you have to be
Like
compliant
September
with the
1st or
cap?
something.
September 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in the offseason you get like a 10% bonus. So
Well, we know Vegas's lineup's going to look exactly like it does today. Well, not except with the subtractions of some guys to get rid of cap. They're not going to be obviously making moves at the free agency start.
it's
so.
kind of weird though. Like 2 years ago when they came in, they're like, "Oh, we have so much cap space,"
Yep.
and then 2 years later, they're like, "We got way too many good players, so we got to pay them all."
Yeah, and that's some of the contracts they signed. Some of these guys too aren't terrible, but
Yeah, they're just they
not
all
great
add up.
either too. Exactly. So,
Mhm.
other than that, only other trade really, the two other trades that really were noteworthy since the draft ended. Tyler already mentioned the Hartman one, which I wouldn't really call that noteworthy, but the Hawks acquired Calvin DeHaan. And
I like that trade a lot.
I did too. I read
They gave up like nothing, like
for Anton Forsberg and Gustav Forsling, but I
Yeah.
read today that DeHaan might not be ready for this
He had shoulder
start of the regular season.
Yeah.
Which, whatever.
Yeah, but he's like got a miniature Hjalmarsson for them, so he's good. And then they also got Oli Mata. I like that. I like he's like good. I think he's been on and off. He's been injury prone some, so but let's buy low.
I think Chicago's done some decent moves this offseason.
Yeah.
I agree. In our group chat, Tyler said they're going to be a playoff team, and I agree with you.
Mhm.
As of right now, I think they make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they just have to figure out the goaltending situation. Really,
Who do you put them over from the teams in the Central, though? I just can't see it happening myself. Not Nashville,
I mean,
not Winnipeg.
That's who.
it's possible. I
I think
mean,
Nashville's on the decline. Nashville needs to get if they can get Duchesne, then that's a different conversation. But as of right now, I think Chicago gets in. I don't think St. Louis is going to be able to. Obviously, they're not going to repeat Stanley Cups, but I think they could get back in the playoffs. Are they going to be the dominant team across the regular season? No, because they don't have the dynamic players that get you higher seedings that we've seen. But they're a playoff built team, and Patrick Kane's better than everyone else in that division. So,
Except McKinnon.
sorry, yeah. I would be if I was in
Those
Vegas.
are two. That'd be a great
if I
conversation.
was
That'd be a
in
great conversation to
Vegas
have.
right
Actually,
now, I would probably put $100 down that Colorado wins the division.
wow. We were talking about the odds pre-pod. They're 10-1, I think, or 12-1. They're the fourth best odds to win the cup this year.
So if I put
insane.
$100 down, what 10 times 100, right? I win $1,000.
Yeah.
I would make that right now.
Yeah. Other noteworthy trade was, I don't know, it's noteworthy again today. The Coyotes acquired Avs center Carl Soderberg for defenseman Kevin Connaughton and a third-round pick for next year.
Well,
We were talking a little before this,
as
too.
we said before, the trade isn't that important.
Something's
But
brewing.
something's behind
Something's
it.
brewing.
Something's fishy, guys.
Yep.
What do we think it is? Does it smell like bread's cooking in the oven?
Oh, please.
hopefully, I mean,
Is he opening a bakery in Denver?
Because we saw that they spoke with him.
I
They might
know.
not have been in person, but like if it's a Skype conversation,
I think his
or
agent
I
was
think
there.
it was his
Agent, yes, yeah. Man, I would love it.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
They got the cap room to do it. There's no question. We got to sign Rantanen to a big ticket this offseason. But
Can you imagine
holy fuck,
a power play of Panarin, McKinnon,
Rantanen.
and Rantanen?
Put Landeskog even out there if you want. Put
Well,
McKinnon
one
on
of
the
them
point.
have McKinnon play defense and then
Yeah.
stick
Well,
Landy in front of
Panarin,
that.
he plays a point.
right.
Usually,
Any of them. Well, on their breakout, they just
Yeah.
here, Nate.
Yeah, it's
Skate.
the same thing every time. Every team knows where they're going with it.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I don't know. I could see him going there. I've mentioned a couple of the last pod. I'd love to see Pavelski go there. He's another center. We really need.
He would be huge. For
We
them.
need depth up the middle. Like
Yeah.
right now, we only have Nate McKinnon, and that's really it at center. Kerfoot, I don't see him as a.
On Twitter, the people on Twitter were like, "Oh, this is Joe Sakic saying like we're ready to give more playing time to Tyson
Oh,
Jost
God.
and
but
the
he's
other
been
dude,
our JT Comfort.
JT Comfort. That's the other.
They
guy I
haven't
can
really.
think of.
They've been given chances, but they haven't really grasped a spot yet.
Correct. I mean, Joe spent some time in the AHL last year. He got sent down. He was playing that bad. I mean, granted, he was a first-round pick a couple years ago.
Right
10th overall. 15.
So they're expecting big things out of him. Yeah, he
by
was.
Buffalo, right?
No, Comfort was Buffalo.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I get that.
He was a second round pick.
So I'd love to see him get Pavelski, but there's some big moves. There's some big things that are going to happen, and I'm excited because this is the first time since Sakic's been in office that they've actually looks like they're going to make some moves at the free agency opening. Yeah. Every other year they've been just kind of marinating and just waiting and getting rid of players and getting picks and assets, and now it's finally starting to fall into place.
I literally think this is the first season leading into a season that everyone on the Six and Beers podcast is excited in some way for their team.
I was excited last year.
Last year I had fake excitement because you're coming off a playoff appearance.
Yeah.
But this year
And
it's a
reigning
different
MVP.
excitement. You get.
Yeah.
I'm excited to just watch Jack Hughes and PK Subban.
Yeah.
And you guys, new coach, I think you have new excitement, new energy in Buffalo.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll
And I
see.
think that's all you guys needed.
Yeah, it's just like we need to just like start from scratch, keep the same players, get rid of all the past history, put the same players in the market. Like if you take this team, put them in a different market, it is a lot better because there's so much negative energy in Buffalo.
Right.
Should we do last beer, boys?
And then we will jump into sobriety check.
Oh, and I just one little thing. I had a couple trades.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
Trades for you guys.
What's
from
the
Oh
this-
yeah. Please do so.
What's the last beer here? It's the Collective Arts, right, boys?
Yeah, Collective Arts. What is it called?
It's a double dry hop.
Hazy State.
Hazy State.
Cheers.
For the record, I would vote yes on the last beer too.
Yeah, me too.
I would vote no on this one.
Yeah, this one's already off to a bad start for me. But
That's
bland.
weird. It has it has nothing.
yeah, but yeah. What are these? Let's hear this. So Tyler messaged the group prior to the pod and said he's got a couple trades or a couple New Jersey Devils, Colorado Avalanche things he wants to throw
Of
out
course, coming from a Sabres fan and being addicted to Cap Friendly and their armchair GM, I kind of made a couple trades, seeing what you guys need, seeing what we need.
As a Sabres organization.
Yes,
Okay.
and me being GM heck.
All right, Jim.
What
Let's
I
hear
would
what you
like-
have
what
to
I'd
say.
like to acquire. I'm gonna go after you, Kyle, first.
Okay.
The Avalanche.
All right.
So Tyson Berry, it's kind of seeming like his days in Colorado are being over. So I have him, Tyson Yost.
Okay.
Going to Buffalo for Rasmus Linen, Alex Nylander, and a conditional second round pick. Being, if Barry resigns, it becomes a first round pick. Give me your thoughts.
I would say
Rebuttals.
my thoughts would be it would not be enough for Joe to move. When would Barry be going? Would it be going prior to the season?
Yeah, like right
Like,
now. The
okay.
trades are happening right now in the offseason.
I don't see Joe Sakic getting rid of Barry for anything less than at least a first rounder and a prospect.
But you're
Guaranteed first rounder. Guaranteed first round, not conditional.
getting a
Ristolainen, no,
somewhat
I know. What's he making a
equal.
year?
He's making 5.4 for the next 3 years.
Okay.
So you get that certainty.
Okay. Which is
You're
less
using-
than Barry. Well, Barry's making about 5 right now, I think.
Yeah, and you
So
get
it's about
and,
the same.
and you're gonna get him for longer.
Yep.
They're not necessarily equivalent defensemen. He's Bristol or Barry's a little more offensive.
Yep,
Bristol's
agreed.
a little more
Defensive and no
Yeah,
block
more
shots and-
physical.
Yep.
So it's a little trade off there, and you don't need him to be your number one with Makar and stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So you can fit in that number 2 role
Mhm.
or in that second slot on
And
the right
Joe's
side.
for Nylander, it's kind of it's not an irrelevant trade, but
I think
it's
Joe says a little more value just because he's been
proven.
actually in the NHL a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I think it's close, but I think maybe throw a little something else in there.
I was gonna say, I think I think for Sakic, there was rumors being thrown around in the draft. I think Bob, you sent into the group message was Virtanen, Tanev, and a first rounder, Vancouver's first rounder for Barry was what was being thrown around at the draft. I think
I didn't send that.
someone sent it someone sent it. Scotty, maybe, I don't know. Someone sent
yeah.
it. But I don't see Sakic moving Barry unless it includes at least a guaranteed first and a prospect and someone who's going to be a.
I think you need like an NHL.
That's what I mean.
player.
Definitely someone
Someone
who's going to
equivalent.
impact and help out now.
Yeah.
Maybe like a top 9 forward, like someone in like that third line role, like a
I'll
third
give
line
you
center.
Gergensons too.
Oh, thanks, Tyler.
Saboka. How about that one?
We'll take Middlestat. We'll give him a run out in Colorado.
Yeah, sure. All right. Just give us McKinnon also.
All right, what about this New Jersey Devils trade?
All right. So not as big as a pedigree, but you guys got a lot of right-handed defensemen now with the PK. So I got what's his name? Vatanen.
Yep.
Which you already have him and Butcher are kind of similar, so I see one of them expendable.
I agree.
And Miles Wood,
Mm-hmm.
Jake McCabe,
Love it already.
Zemus Gergensen,
Sure.
Connor Sherry.
Now I think you're overpaying.
All right,
He's
sold.
got more. He's got more. What else you got
Yeah,
in
what
there?
else
Hold
you
on.
got?
I had a 4th-round pick in there also.
It's just
Send
icing.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a cherry on top, Bob.
let's go. All right.
Miles Wood's from Buffalo too. I think that would be a fun trade, and
Yeah.
I think he's exactly like the 3rd or 4th line winger.
That we need.
He's like a perfect third liner for you guys.
Yeah.
Just an absolute fire plug,
Yeah. And a man roster.
spark plug. Man
He's gonna tear up Chippewa Street, literally.
He actually resides in Boston over the summer.
Oh, well, that sucks.
But
I hit him already.
he's like a Massachusetts
Hey,
guy,
I'm
but he's
already-
from Buffalo because
Yeah.
his dad played for the Sabres when he was born.
Hmm.
So, Randy Wood.
So that was easy then. That one was a lot easier.
Yeah, like you
It's
said,
like-
there was not as many. It wasn't as dynamic of a trade. Like,
No,
a
Jake McCabe's like
blockbuster.
we got Will Butcher, Andy Green. Well, Ty Smith is gonna be sick for us, but Jake McCabe is like a 2D that we need where he can do everything.
Yeah, and he's definitely defensively. Is Ty Smith a righty or lefty?
He's a lefty.
Okay, so that helps on your left side. But I was looking and said you had, I think like 5 right-handed shot defensemen.
Yeah, Damon Severson, Sammy Vatanen,
PK,
PK now,
Connor Carrick.
Connor Carrick now that he got tendered.
Yeah, so you guys got a few of those, and you gotta split it up a little bit. So
Yep.
I like that. All right,
right.
sold.
Calling it quits. Let's go to sobriety check. Kyle,
Kyle.
it's your turn still.
All right.
God bless you. Pick Tyler and I first. Everyone knows the drill. Sobriety check brought to you by Coach Tony's Hot Sauce. cthotsauce.com. Heat and eat, baby. I would love some Coach Tony's Hot Sauce chicken wing dip right about now because I'm fucking starving.
Let's go with Bob. Hockey question.
Coming right up. Kyle. Who holds the record for most points in a single OHL season? I'll tell you the stat line. It is 282 points in 70 games.
Holy shit.
OHL, you said?
OHL, and is not some ancient player. I would say they probably played in the OHL in the late 80s. Give you 10 seconds.
I think I got it. I think.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Let's go with
1.
Joe Sakic.
Negative. Joe is from Western Canada, so I believe he played. Actually, I don't know where he played minor hockey. It is Mario.
Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Lemieux.
You playing the O?
I guess so.
Oh, Lemieux.
No, I thought he was playing the Q.
I would have thought it would have been. I would have thought it would have been.
I thought it was
someone
gonna be
more recent.
Eric Lindros. That's who I was thinking.
I could have thought someone more recent too. maybe.
Because he
That's
played for
ridiculous,
Oshawa.
though. 70 games and 270 points.
282 points.
It's 4 points a game.
That's easy.
I got that from the NHL history lady on Twitter.
Ah.
So if she's wrong,
She's-
if
she's
this is
wrong.
wrong, blame her.
Okay. Perfect. I'll-
Literally just copy and pasted the tweet.
Perfect.
And then just turned it into a question form. Next.
Tyler.
Hockey?
Yeah. we're going
Okay.
hockey.
So Jack Hughes got drafted first overall out of the National Development Program.
You're right, he did. Yes, he did.
That's a statement. There's no question.
The answer is yes.
Who is the last player to be drafted first overall out of the National Development Program?
I have a freebie trivia question after that too.
Just fun fact.
Just for fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's the same person.
Maybe.
Pat Kane?
Played for.
He played in the O for the
yeah,
London
well,
Knights.
it's-
I don't know if he's.
Eric Johnson.
That's who I was gonna say.
No
because
shit.
He was, and also the last time the draft was held in Vancouver, he went first overall, 2006.
Wow.
Mhm.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right. 0 for 2.
You should know your players better. Avalanche.
He wasn't drafted by the Avs.
He's Avalanche on the roster right now.
Yeah. Well, not for long, hopefully. Even though he is going to be out there for long, according to his contract. But let's snake it back around. Tyler, hit me with your non-trivia or non-hockey question.
Hit him with your best shot, Tyler.
Oops, what happened? I had.
Greg softballs. See, now we're man down. 2 less questions for me to get.
That wasn't a terrible question.
No, that was actually no. Both years were okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like who was the leading scorer of the fucking some random team in middle of nowhere, and I'm like, Jesus.
Bob, you gotta go. I lost my question.
Okay,
So,
Bob.
Kyle.
Yep.
In which city was the first certified NBA game played in? So when the NBA was founded back in the day, which city held the first game? I'll tell you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
The New York Knickerbockers, the Knicks, were the away team. So New York is not the city.
Okay. Fuck, I know nothing about basketball. Sick league.
Where's Greg when you need him?
Let's go with Boston.
Toronto.
Fuck.
I think Greg asked me that question a few weeks ago.
I think I did.
Oh, maybe it was you.
Yeah, when
Oh.
we were golfing, I believe I...
God.
No, I think it was on here. I think it was on the pod.
Was it really?
I think so.
Maybe-
Because I remember this.
It wasn't on the pod. It was before it, I think. We were probably podcasting, but I have it on this list.
I don't think he asked it on the pod. I don't believe because
I
I'm not.
remember the question, though.
Yeah, maybe you asked you
I
before.
don't remember the
know.
answer,
Okay.
but I remember the question.
Okay.
'Cause I guess.
Or maybe he showed it to. I don't know.
I must have showed it to someone.
Somebody.
Maybe. All right,
Tyler.
let's go. So I know you're a big fan of ancient Greece.
Oh fuck! It's full circle, isn't it?
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, but what do we call the last period of ancient Greece from 750 BC to 480 BC?
I have no fucking clue.
Give up.
Yep.
Archaic period.
Archaic period. Nope. No, never got that. We would have been here all night guessing.
I'm going to fact check myself.
was,
I just went to...
It was preceded by the Dark Ages and followed by the Classical period.
I didn't know either of those either. So glad we
See
didn't waste our, glad
ya
we didn't waste our time.
next.
I'm going to fact check myself.
Yep.
Mario did play in the queue. He played for the Laval Voisins. So I believe NHL stat history girl
Was
meant-
wrong.
meant the CHL.
Probably.
Because Wayno never played in the CHL.
Still wouldn't have made a difference, Bob.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have got it right.
We're fact checking ourselves here on the
Yep.
Six and Beers podcast.
Yep.
Nice.
0 for 4.
I'm going to finish my beer real quick.
Last one? No.
Maybe a no for me.
No.
It's really
So-
bad. It sounds so good. Hazy State double dry hopped IPA.
That
Like
was
that's
so bland.
That sounds like all those words are like
Well, yeah, I know.
trigger words for me. Hazy, double dry hopped,
IPA.
IPA. Like
That's-
I was expecting big shit out of that. Last
you
one,
are the target market for that beer right there.
I
Yeah.
thought I would like that for sure. I thought it'd be my top
But
one.
sometimes
My worst one.
Sometimes when you get a double, it it gets a little. Well, it doesn't get anything. You know, it just.
Yeah.
I've had a lot. Some doubles, like 3 heads double, the double kind, is
The 2 kind, right?
the 2 kind. Thank you. Is more bland than the kind.
Yeah.
Just drink it out of the can, dude. Who cares?
I like this one actually.
Can I kill that cream ale?
Oh, of course.
I like
Finish it.
passion fruit. We're gonna finish that off
Awesome.
off the record here, boys. Anything else we want to cover? I think that's it.
I don't think we have anything else to cover. Kyle, is there any updates with our
Not
brewery
yet.
visits?
Nothing yet. But we'll be back. When are we gonna come back for the free
2 weeks.
free agency?
So-
A couple weeks, 2
Couple
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let all the smoke
Duh.
clear from free
Yep,
agency.
yep.
Hopefully,
Tampering periods right now.
Yep.
RFA starts tomorrow. Tampering period.
Yep.
So, a lot of news. A lot of names still out there. So,
free agent frenzies is next Monday. Hopefully, there's gonna be more trades by then.
Yeah.
And probably give or take 10 days after July 1, everything will mainly have calmed down by then. So we'll shoot for middle July for the next pod.
Yeah.
Everyone, hopefully you can enjoy your summer now that we're catching some
4th of July.
good
Yeah.
weather.
Me and my buddies, 3,800 in fireworks.
Don't forget your Coach Tony's for your 4th of
Jesus
July
Christ.
barbecues.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's like 10 of us, but like, it'll be a show.
And your Miracle Flow for your shower in the
Yeah,
morning.
oh, we didn't
before.
have a miracle floor weed. No Greg.
No Greg.
Way to go,
No,
Greg.
he's the only guy.
No Greg
suck,
needs no
Greg.
miracle flow.
Yeah.
Don't get your head either, then, bud. I'm gonna sell it.
But with that, guys, the draft has been real,
It's been fun.
It hasn't been real fun.
and we'll see ya come free agent frenzy about 10 days after that. See you later, guys.
Offer sheets. Offer sheets. Offer sheets. Offer sheets.